In this video, I'm going to be talking about 10 ways you can tell if you're psychic. So, there are different ways of being psychic. I meet a lot of people who are just starting on their spiritual journey, and they're very keen to be clairvoyant, which is seeing. But quite often they think it's like actually seeing somebody physical, like I'm seeing my cat next to me. And it's not always like that. You're actually seeing in your mind's eye. It's almost like when you visualize something, but you're not visualizing it. It's actually just coming in and you're not always sure what it means. Sometimes you can actually see beings, but quite often you are actually just being given images by spirit that you see in your mind's eye and your third eye, so to speak. So, but there are also many other ways to be psychic. There's clairaudience, people who hear and get knowledge that way. There's clairsentience, where people, feel what they know. It's a very strong feeling trait. Many different ways. You can Google them. There's lots and lots and lots, and there seem to be more all the time. So here are the 10 signs that you might be psychic, and there are more signs than that too. So being able to be creative without conscious thought, if you've got a strong creative talent and you paint or you write or you make music, and if you can just actually go and flow with that and do that rather than planning it out and having a big plan. Today I'm going to paint a picture of the moon. And in a psychic manner of that, you'll actually just get like a download of a very strong urge to do that, and you feel really compelled to do it. Or while you're creating, you'll just actually naturally flow with it and create what is. I mean, writing's quite good for that too. I used to do quite a bit of automatic writing where you just write and see what comes up, and it was pretty amazing. I wrote a few things for friends, and to me it was like, holy moly, what does this mean? This sounds pretty silly, but it actually had a lot of meaning to them when I gave it to them. So yeah, writing, creativity, those are all good ways to channel that energy. You had imaginary friends as a child, so that's number 2. Most kids do, and most kids are actually far more psychic than adults because they haven't learned to shut that down. They're far more open to the energies and the different vibrations and things like that. So yeah, if you had imaginary friends and they were very real and very important to you, quite likely that you are psychic, and they may have even been spirit beings. I remember my little sister, she's 15 years younger than me, had a friend called the Gentleman, and he had to have a place set for him at the table too, or she'd get really upset. She was about 3 years old then, and the Gentleman was around for a while. It was quite interesting and quite funny and cute in a sense, but to her that Gentleman was very, very real. So children are far more open. So if you had a lot of experiences like that as a child, and imaginary friends, or I actually went more in the way of imaginary pets. I had animals around me, quite random animals, for quite a while when I was really young, and then it sort of turned more into people. But at the beginning I had a panther and all sorts of creatures around me. It was pretty amazing. Number 3, you need time to recharge after being around people. I mean, if you're psychic or very intuitive, you're going to get a lot of noise from around you, from the people around you, like shopping centres, malls, busy places, can be quite overwhelming if you're very sensitive, psychic or intuitive, and you may need time by yourself after that to recharge and rebalance and get back into your own energy. There's a few tips and tricks with that too, which I'll talk about in a later video on how to manage that better. But yeah, sometimes the noise has just got to go away, and you just don't want too much information for a period of time. So nature's very nice. In nature you can kind of let go a bit and enjoy that. So yeah, Number 4, you see sparkles, orbs, or movement out of your peripheral vision. Your peripheral vision is like the corner of your eye. And I know quite often, you know, I see something and turn my head around and it's gone. It was quite funny. But yeah, sparkles, bright sparkles of light and things like that. I've always seen very intense, bright electric blue sparkles that pop up, and they're almost like a pay attention kind of signal. And yeah, I have seen movement and things like that quite often out of the corner of my eye. A lot of people see orbs. They're not a huge thing with me, but people have seen them around me when I'm making these videos. I quite often get messages about the orbs in my videos. So yeah, yeah, so if you see things out of the corner of your eye but they go away when you turn your head, yeah, that's a psychic ability, and you can actually clarify that and train that and strengthen that and be able to hold it there for longer as you practice. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, number 5, you get feelings and impressions from places. That can be quite an intense one. I've had that before, even traveling in my motorhome. I've thought, oh, that looks like a nice place. I might go and park there for the night. And I get there and it's like, nah, I just don't like it. I don't like the feeling. It might be totally beautiful, but it just feels wrong. So if you get very strong feelings from places, either good or bad, I mean, good can be just somewhere you feel really at peace and happy and at home. You get that kind of vibration from a place, or somewhere you just feel really uncomfortable. That's actually your psychic senses telling you, yeah, guiding you, helping you see the place for what it is. And if you feel really icky somewhere, it's probably a good idea to leave if you can. Number 6, I think we're up to. I didn't number them, so oops. You really understand animals. A lot of people love animals, but most people with psychic abilities actually really tune into the animals around them and can actually really tell what they want. I mean, I know with my cat, who's been with me for a long time, if she's outside and I'm not sure where she is and I'd like to see her, I can actually mentally send out to her and say, hey buddy, I'd like you to check in, so that I know what you're up to. And usually she'll turn up and just let me know. Come in and say hi and wander off again for a little bit. She doesn't go far, so it's not a biggie, but you know, you have a really strong connection with animals, and they feel that and they pick up on that and they sense that too. So if you really understand what their desires and needs and wants are, more than some people, that's also another psychic talent, and it is something you can use in quite a wonderful way to work with animals and their owners. You know things about people. I think this is number 7. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this is number 7. Okay, number 7. You know things about people, and you don't always know how. You know, you get that with people you're close to. A friend of mine, she always said to me, whenever I thought about you and thought I really needed to talk to you, you would turn up. Yeah, it's like I subconsciously knew she needed my friendship at that time and needed a buddy. So yeah, we do know things about people. I've had information about people that I didn't actually really want. Well, I've thought, what am I supposed to do with that? But it does happen. So if you've got a really innate, great, deep knowing of where people are at or what matters to them, or even if they're lying to you, things like that is a very strong psychic trait of being able to read another person's energy. And as you use it more, you become more conscious of it and can become more intentional with it, rather than have it randomly happening when you walk down the street. Because earlier on, that's what used to happen to me. I'd be walking down the street and all of a sudden know something about the person walking past that was not useful, not practical. I can't just barge up to a stranger in the street and tell them. So yeah, no, with more kind of management and control, so to speak, of it, yeah, that's become easier. Number 8, you feel the presence of spirits. You just feel the energy. You feel like, you know, if it's somebody you loved, you cared about, who's passed on, you just all of a sudden think of them and feel their energy. You feel the energy of, yeah, passed over people or pets for that matter. It can be both. And you just know that they're around you. You know, that's a psychic sense of inner knowing. So, yeah, acknowledge them when you feel that. I mean, as long as you're not in public somewhere and would look a bit mad, but if you're at home or something like that, acknowledge them, because they need to know that you're aware of them too when they're trying to make contact, especially loved ones. You can also easily visualize things. That's being able to see in your mind's eye. Yeah, you've got a very strong visual ability to be able to do that, you know. I mean, if somebody tells me a story, I actually see it, and sometimes that's quite hard, especially if it's not a very nice story. But yeah, I can actually see it. I also see things in almost little skits and cartoons when I hear funny stories, and very visual ability. And yeah, if you've got that going on, that can be further developed into a psychic ability. And vivid dreams, you know, number 10 is vivid dreams, which have a strong meaning. You know, they mean something. They're not just dreams that seem bizarre or odd, but actually dreams that tell you something or mean something or clear something up for you. Sometimes I'll have dreams that actually give me clarity on something that I've been thinking about. That's our subconscious working that through in our dreams. But also sometimes, you know, premonitions. I had one once that actually probably saved my life. So yeah, pay attention to those dreams. Don't try and overthink them. Let them sit for a bit. Often we get more and more information about that dream as time goes by. So yeah, so these are all signs. There are a whole lot more, and there are many, many different ways you can be psychic, and most people are, and everybody has that potential to be psychic. It depends on how much energy and focus they put into that, but it's definitely something, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. It's a bit like, you know, going to the gym. The more you practice, the more you use it, the more you utilize it. You know, practice with things like psychometry, like holding objects and seeing what you can pick up from them. You know, not your own, obviously, but even going into antique shops can be quite interesting for that, and just hold something and see what you can pick up, or somebody else's objects and things like that. Yeah, practice listening to what knowledge is coming into you, or even writing it down. Journaling is a really good way to develop it, because quite often those things, they come in, they go out about them. So if you journal them, keep a little book, write them down, and then you can look back at them and go, oh yeah, that's right, that happened, and I thought that, and then yeah, further on down the track something else happened that has clarified it or made it make sense. So yeah, everybody has that ability. Some people have it a bit stronger. People practice and train it, but everybody has that ability to have psychic information. It's not something exclusively for the few or for special people. I really don't like it when people turn spirituality into those hierarchies. You know, I don't see it as any more special than being a plumber. Plumbers are very important people. Very important people if you've got a plumbing problem. So, you know, they have a real good, awesome, practical talent that they've practiced and trained. So, yeah. Anyway, so if you have any comments on that, or ways that you feel you pick up information and things like that, please put it down in the comments. Or if you have questions about this, please comment. If you like this kind of content or video and would like to see more, please give it a like, and yeah, and subscribe to my channel so that YouTube shows my videos. And yeah, so anyway, lots of love, and keep on practicing your intuition, your psychic abilities, and all of the above. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. and I'll see you all in my next video.